Making a controlled depth float is easy. First thing you're going to need is one of those swimming noodles. The long foam type of toys that you play with in a pool. Preferably get the one that doesn't have a hole through it. If you do get the one with a hole in it, you're probably going to have to cut an extra chunk and slice little pieces and stuff them in the hole. What you'll do is cut maybe a 5 or 6 inch piece, cut one end into a point, and then maybe like on your sidewalk or with some rough sandpaper, sand it into a smooth point. I've got to the point where I've actually smoothed both ends kind of round, where it kind of looks like a big foam egg. The next thing you'll need is maybe I use a coffee straw. Like when you go to a convenience store, they've got the coffee straws. I usually grab me a little stack of those. The way I make sure I get it dead center in the float is I'll take like a long piece of a hanger, a wire, and I'll stick it through the tip of the float and out the back. You probably have to poke it a couple times before you center it in the back. Then slip your straw over the wire through to the other side, pull the wire back out, and you've got your part where the string is going to go through. And that's the basics of making the float. Now to rig it, it's a simple procedure. What you're first going to do is, say you want to fish 20 feet deep, you're going to have to cut your line 20 feet up and use a UNI-KNOT. Here's a picture of how you would do a UNI-KNOT. You take the string, loop it 3 or 4 times on one side, tie it, take the other string, loop it on the other side, and tie it. And of course you want to leave a couple little tails, or actually the tail end facing the leader side on there so that the bead can't pass that knot. So now to rig it, you're going to run up a bead, the float with the flat side up, if you make a flat side on it. Then you're going to put an egg sinker. I use anywhere up to a 2 or 3 ounce egg sinker so I can get a real good cast out of it. Next you'll put a bead, and then you'll tie on a snap swivel. And that's your whole rig right there. What you'll do next, when you're ready to fish, take a 1/0, 2/0, 3/0, whatever size hook you're going to use depending on what you're fishing for. And you're going to maybe tie on an 12 to 18 inch leader of whatever size string you'd like to use, and onto your hook. Make a loop and just put it onto that snap. And when you hold this up, from the tip of your rod to the tip of your hook is whatever the length of your leader is, plus the length of the float and whatever you've got hanging off the tip, which is probably going to be 21 inches at the most. Like I said, you cut your line 20 feet up. When you cast it out, you're not casting 20 feet of line. And as soon as that thing hits the water, the weight starts pulling the line through, and now you're fishing 20 feet deep. Or if you're fishing along jetties, you'll set it for 6 to 8 feet deep. It's just that simple. You buy one noodle, they're probably $1 or $2, and you could probably make 10 floats out of the one noodle. And that's how easy it is to have controlled depth fishing, and a great alternative to the lemon rig. Thanks for listening. Thank you, and if you have any comments or questions, please contact Manuel Z at netzero.net, or you can just do a search on the internet for Manuel Z and fishing, and you'll find my website. The easiest way to find it would be surffishing.tripod.com, which will forward you to my full website.